Hey, what's up, everybody? My name's Bryan Gallareto, and I am a director, production, lead game producer in the game industry. I just wanted to take a moment and walk you through my experience in LinkedIn so I can save you the time reading it. So, first and foremost, Pac Man Mega Tunnel Battle Chomp Champs, crazy long name. This was a project I worked on a external team with, helped manage, wrote the proposal to get this game made. The team is still working hard on this to get the game out soon. I also worked on 50 other games, managing a team of 9 producers during my time at Bandai Namco, everything from Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon, to Dark Souls, to One Piece Odyssey, and Elden Ring. I also oversaw a small team of 2 that did our external projects, so an unreleased survival strategy game, in addition to Tales of Symphonia Remastered. During my time, I got a lot of great experience, got to go to Japan several times and meet with teams, and really have a high level view of what our games were, who they were for, how to make them better, and kind of smooth out the giant process that is publishing 20 to 30 games a year. So it was a lot, as you can see, and I've been credited a ton, which is awesome. But really, you have to pick your battles and make sure you don't burn yourself out. There's a lot to do, and it takes a lot of people to get this many games out. Before joining Bandai Namco, I did a small stint with the new Telltale Games startup on The Wolf Among Us 2 and got to work with that talented team. Got to get their project management kick-started to try to see how long it was going to take to make the game and get our art pipelines up and running as well. At NCSoft, I spent 5 years on live service games, specifically free-to-play MMORPGs. Got to work on a game called Fuser with Harmonix, which was awesome, and launched that game during the height of COVID on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X the same week. We released the same week. Didn't have any specific things for those platforms, but definitely had to coordinate heavily with first party. And I was kind of the conduit of communication that everything went through because our executive producer left 6 months prior. I got to touch and work on great games like Guild Wars 2, Lineage 2, Ion. Got to help act as a senior technical producer and release manager on a MOBA called Master X Master. That was a great game. I have some experience in mobile casual in the terms of slots casino and working on games like Solitaire at Mobilityware and slot games at Tap Slots. Before that, I worked on the development side at a company called Petrolith Games. They're a bunch of old veterans from Westwood Studios that are best known for Command and Conquer, and I got to work on one of their sci-fi games called Grey Goo, and I came in at the last 6 months of End of Nations and got to work closely with their design team and kind of bridge the gap in communication at the craziest moment before we were finishing the game for launch. Got my start in the industry in QA testing at THQ, where I spent 5 years there working on games like Darksiders 2, Saints Row the Third, and Saints Row 4. I was first a QA lead on Homefront, and before then, I was a senior tester and tester on a ton of other games, including the WWE, SmackDown vs. Raw games, MX vs. ATV, Disney Pixar games like Up, Red Faction Gorilla, Deadly Creatures, Wall-E, which will forever be burned into my mind because that game was insane to work on. But I got my start in Juice 2 Hot Import Nights. I went to be a game designer and a game writer. At the time, there was no game design bachelor's degree, so I got a Bachelor of Arts in Multimedia, so I had to learn the art side of games as well, so modeling, visual effects, texture work, in this case on 3ds Max, when it was the thing to use. I'm open to helping out your game in whatever way I can, whether that's fresh eyes feedback from a person that knows a little too much to be dangerous, but also still has the expectations of today's console gamer. Thank you for your time, and good luck in your search.